Downwell is a curious game about a young person venturing down a well in search of untold treasures, with only his gumboots to protect him. Just like its description, Downwell is simple and straight to the point. Downwell is a roguelike/action shooter released October 15 by Moppin. Let's dive into the void that is Downwell. At first glance, the game seems simple enough to grasp. The controls are tight and responsive, and the sprites heavily remind me of Pixel's Cave Story. Actually, a lot of this game gives me Cave Story vibes. Its simplicity in terms of your objective as the player, and the art style. The gameplay can get complex itself. The game is divided by sections, so I'll start off with the first one. The first zone is known as the Cavern, a very atmospheric place filled with bats, frogs, turtles, and things that look like Metroids. Is that a Metroid? The mobs aren't that threatening. They honestly look like they couldn't harm you, but they will. Every single thing in here, except the shopkeeper, wants you dead. Well, maybe the shopkeeper wants you a little dead, but that's only if you jump on his items, which is pretty obvious enough. The shopkeeper is a strange character on his own. There's no reason as to why he works down here. Seriously, you're only getting business from like one guy with a currency no one even uses in the surface. He probably just loves the alone time. The game has a few cool mechanics. There are a few techs to learn to make sure you have a good run. There is a wall jump that you can use to get some extra leverage, but I always end up using it by accident, messing me up more than it does help. Although mastering it would be super beneficial in close calls. You can hover in the air by shooting your weapon, letting you control where you're going to land and what you're going to land on. This game actually has a combo system as well. A very simple system that reaps rewards to help you out in the long run. When you continuously kill or jump on a monster's head without touching the ground, you'll start to see numbers popping up, showing you your combo meter. Now getting long combos gives you gem bonuses, giving you a fat wallet. As fun as keeping combos are, it's more important not to get yourself killed, as dying results in starting all the way back at the first cavern. But at least the game is procedurally generated, making each run come with variety, so it doesn't get stale. Now Zone 2 gets a little bit spooky. You're in the catacombs. The difficulty spikes up a bit here. This place is filled with ghosts, floaty black things, skulls, angry skulls, and skeletons that throw bones at you. The shop charges more, and overall you just have to play more carefully, which is great. I like the sudden change in difficulty. Makes you think twice about how you use your ammo. Now on the subject of guns. Guns are important because they're your primary and only weapon. There are tons of weapons to choose from, and they're all easy to get. Whenever you step into a time void, you'll either get a gun heart container or an energy container. Or you can go into a shop and buy upgrades there as well. The more energy you get, the more your gun can hold, which is actually pretty necessary, especially for the later zones. As far as gun upgrades go, that's about it honestly. Really simple, more energy equals more shots and float, but there are also a lot of perks. You'll get them whenever you beat a level. They can compensate for lack of upgrades you have, since they can get super expensive at the shop. Shopkeeper has to pay his bills, or whatever. As many times as you might die in this game, the game doesn't get stale easily. Frustrating, but never really, ugh, I'm bored of this. Which brings me to another great aspect of this game. The sound design and OST for this game are absolutely immersive for the setting. Eric, the composer of this soundtrack, has also worked on other games like Spelunky, Ridiculous Fishing, and Hotline Miami. What he does for Downwell is really bring the atmosphere to life. Each zone having different themes really brings body to the stages. Music is an essential part of any game, oftentimes making or breaking a game's immersion. So props to you. Thanks for making a sweet soundtrack, which is actually on sale on his Bandcamp, which I'll put down in the description. Now back to our quest. If you make it past the horror, you're greeted to an underwater level. Cause underwater levels are always cakewalks, right? Wrong, I hate this zone so much. I've died so many times here that I lost count. This place is cruel, it sickens me. But man, is it thrilling. In this area, you now have a breath meter, and breaking bottles will restore your air. I'm not sure what happens when the timer runs out, but you do get this feeling of panic and urgency from this minor tweak to the gameplay. Underwater probably has my least favorite monsters, the squids. If you don't shoot them as they pass by, they come back down, blood red, and dangerous. This can turn a situation into serious danger that might lead to a game over. Again, this to me is probably the hardest section of the game, although it might be different for others, but after you pass this, you get to go to your last stop, Limbo. Now Limbo is basically the floor is lava, and it's probably the best place to rack up giant combos. You might be asking, well, how am I going to reload when I can't touch the ground? Well, it's actually pretty fair. Random objects will be floating around for you to jump on. Voids are still there as well to give you room to breathe. It honestly isn't as hard as it looks, so just keep calm and shoot with caution. So spoiler warning. I'm going to be talking about the ending, so if you don't want to see what happens, click here to skip. Having enough health is essential here, because when you beat Limbo, you fight a boss. Yeah, this game has a boss and an ending. Now this boss is chaotic and terrifying, and you'll see the patterns change during the course of the battle, making it feel very unpredictable. It's still a fair fight, and I didn't have many gripes with it, as most of the mistakes are usually your own fault here. Beating this beast feels extremely satisfying and uplifting, finally reaching your goal, which actually has a reward. After the credits roll, you reach the end of the well. You're finally given a reason on why you jumped down there in the first place. To save your kitty. Honestly, what a great guy this MC is, risking his life for his pet. It's a lovely scene as you grab your cat and gumboot your way back up to the surface. I really do have a love-hate relationship with this game, but honestly, it's one of the best indie games I played in a while, and I loved it all the way to the end. If you have $3 to spend, give this game a try. It's well worth the money spent, and it deserves the praise it gets. Hey guys, it's Gio. Thanks for watching my video. If you liked what I did here, please give a like and comment. Feedback is always great. We got a bunch of other videos on this channel that you should check out. You can also see whenever we post our next video by clicking the sub box. We also stream, so be sure to check that out as well. Well, see you guys next time.